Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aneesah Pataebuenae. I'm from English Department Faculty of Education Hashim Ash'ari University. Hi everyone, and now I want to tell about the analysis of history. The first about the paper. The title Reading History in Historical Literature and Analysis of the Historical Novel Kalbu Kalha, right from Muhammad Nazrin Sahul Hamid, Institution, School of Humanities and University Science Malaysia. Abstract. History has long been a source of inspiration for creative work in the effort of the writer to produce quality literature. This is because there exists trust in history that can be conveyed to readers or audiences for the purpose of joint contemplation. In this article, historical events are examined through Amelia Hashim's later novel, Kalbu Kalha, The Heart of Kalha, which is set against the history of Kedah. From its early beginnings through Siamese occupation and finally British interference. The analysis of novel in this article employs the theoretical framework of Lucas to show that history can be read through literary work. This novel successfully explored history and little-known historical figures to this readership, proving that historical literature is not mere fiction. Analysis of the novel Kalbu Kalha. Based on the discussion of the theoretical framework above, the analysis of the novel Kalbu Kalha. The analysis of the novel Kalbu Kalha is divided into three discussions, that is, setting of time and place, historical events relatively expressed, and finally historical personages. Setting. The setting of time and place. Through this novel, Amelia actually invites her readers to look back toward the ancient history of the Malay Kingdom of Kedah. Compared to other local historical novels, this novel is set over a long span of time. The history of Kalha began with two brothers, Ten Dharmadewa and Tun Perkasa, two Malay nobles. They are the original inhabitants of Kalha. They planned the leadership in carefully, not for a day or two but forever, until the day this world is destroyed. They want Kalha to be ruled forever by sovereign kings and the Malays as its lord. Historical events described accurately and meaningfully. In other words, the event presented by a writer through his narrative enabled the history to be appreciated through masterful storytelling, according to a carefully arranged chronology. The second characteristic of the historical novel, as put forth by Lucas, is also displayed in Kalbu Kalha, which is that the writer presents several important events as recorded in the history of Kedah. The The people of Kalha do not expect the taking of the island and feel a great sorrow about this event. And the next, the writer used his imagination to develop the historical facts concerning an attack by the Siamese and historical figures. At the very basic level, characters in a historical novel are historical figures that really excited and are brought to life in a creative way by the writer in his work. Where the historical novel is concerned, historical figures do exist, though their role depends on the position of the novel itself. This can be observed in Amelia's novel Kalbu Kalha. The writer has an unusual way of selecting historical figures as her characters. And the last, in conclusion, the first characteristic of the historical novel, that of setting of time and place, in displayed clearly and in detail by the writer, whereby it follows the section of reigning kings. And the second characteristic of a historical novel, concerning also applied by the writer. Among the historical events inserted are the taking of Penang by British and Siamese attack on Kalha at Kedah. Okay, thank you for watching. That's all for me. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.